Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Keeping Up with Marshall County Athletics, presented by Wintzell's Oyster House in Guntersville. Make sure to go by Wintzell's, check them out, eat some great food, enjoy a great atmosphere, and support them because they're out here supporting high school athletics all throughout the state of Alabama. I'm joined by DAR head volleyball coach, Coach Tanya Broadway, and Coach, season is here. It's crazy how fast that it comes up every single year, and obviously in the sport of volleyball, you guys kind of have it nice because you get to start practicing, playing games in July, kind of your preseason practice games, and it carries right on over into school starting and the season getting here in August. So just kind of tell us a little bit about your team, what you have coming back off last year's group, and really what you've seen so far from this team going into the season getting started here this week.
Well, our team has really improved since I got there. This is my third year at DAR, and this is a group that were basically all starters as sophomores, and then they were starters as juniors, and most of them are starters as seniors. So we have some experience, and we've had a great summer, not just competing, but working hard in the weight room, jump training, on the court, all the things. And we look forward to just competing. We're ready to play. I think the girls are tired of practicing and they're ready to play and just see where they are. And we know that the season's not made in August, yet it's important. Opening day is always important, but we know that we're just building and trying to get it be as good as we can for October.
I was looking at your schedule from last year, and you guys went out and tested yourselves against a lot of really good volleyball programs throughout the state, and just kind of talk about facing that level of competition and really just how much better it makes you as a volleyball program. You're going out and seeing people that we see in Birmingham at the end of the year, and we see right there on the edge of getting to Birmingham. And I mean, you guys faced a lot of teams that were right there competing for a state championship at the end of last season.
We did, and we won 25 matches. And everyone is expecting us to win more matches than that this year, but I don't know if we will, because if the schedule was tough last year, this year's schedule is even tougher. More games, we're going down to Thompson to play, we're going to Bayside to play, and we just have a lot of games against a lot of really, really tough opponents. Now, I've been doing this for 29 years, and the sport of volleyball has really grown. There's schools that I used to do camp for that now are competing for state championships just because volleyball is really growing. And we're trying to get out and play those teams that compete for state championships so that we can get to be as good as we can be.
Yeah, I mean, one of those teams you mentioned, Bayside,
Yes.
Obviously with Coach Schilling and what she's
Yes.
done down there. I mean, talk about that opportunity to go and face a team like that not only has statewide recognition, they have national recognition for what they've accomplished as a program really over the last 20 years.
They do, and Schilling, we've been friends for a long time, and she's an amazing coach. They have an amazing program. They'll have hundreds of little kids come to camp. I mean, what she's built there is second to none. So we were excited when we had the opportunity to go to their tournament. She asked me if we wanted to come, and I said, absolutely, sure, we'll come. And so we're excited about that. It's early in the season. It'll be a great opportunity to bond as a team for my group and have some fun and play a lot of good competition.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the main things. You talk about getting to bond together. They make a long bus ride down there. You're going to stay overnight. They're going to be in hotel rooms together. And how important is that to you as a coach to set up something like that, to give them that opportunity, especially early in the season, to build towards area play and then hopefully making a big postseason run at the end?
Yeah, being a team and relationships are a struggle, and they take work. And volleyball is a sport where 6 people have to cooperate on a 30 by 30 foot square. And so if we can't get along on that court, on that small square together, we're going to have a hard time. So anything we can do to be together and learn about each other and learn to get along and overcome that struggle is helpful to our team.
One of the things that any volleyball coach I've talked to over the last few years when I've been going around the state have talked about is communication on the
Yes.
court and how important that is. And kind of talk a little bit about that part of the game and really how long it takes to develop that communication, develop that knowing of where people are going to be, how they're going to move, and that type of stuff for a team to really come together on the court the way that volleyball teams hope to do during the year.
Right, well, I don't know that there's any sport that can be played without communication, but volleyball is an ultimate team sport. You have to cooperate together. Like I said, it's a small space with 6 people in a very small space, and it just doesn't go well if you don't communicate. And then beyond communication is they have to learn to trust each other, and everybody has to be consistent. Everybody has to consistently do their job. They can't go for a ball one time and not go for that same ball another time. and their teammates build trust in them. So we're going to keep working on that trust. I think that'll be strong for our team this year because these girls have a lot of seniors, and we're just going to keep working on that. Every day at practice we talk about it. It'll be a focus of every game is communicate.
You know, volleyball's similar to basketball in the sense of how you can sub people in, move people around, and that type of stuff. And you hear basketball coaches all the time talk about, you know, we start the year with 11, 12 guys maybe playing, and as the year goes on, you kind of cut it down. Is that something similar? I mean, volleyball coaches do something similar to that as the year goes on?
Well, I'll tell you, when early in my career, when I had larger teams, like 12 and 15 people somewhat, but this group, I mean, they've got to be in great shape because we have 9 people on varsity and basically 8 starters. 8 people will play all the time. And then the other person, you know, will be called on to go in to serve, or if someone's not doing well or someone just needs a break. I mean, we really only have 1 sub. All 8 girls play every single match.
You know, the libero is obviously a big position in volleyball. They can go in at any moment. They can, you know, you get them to specialize in certain things. How important is it to have a very good libero on a team that you can count on to go in certain moments and them come up with big plays?
Well, if we can't get that first pass, whether it's a serve receive or a dig from a hard hit ball or a free ball, we're not going to be very good. Our team's not super tall. So we really have to make sure our ball control is good. And we serve receive most of the time with 2 players, our libero and our outside hitter. And we just count on getting a good first pass. If we don't, we're not going to win any games.
With the first game coming up of the year, I mean, how important is it for your group to really get off to a good start this year? You talked about some of the expectations this team has coming off of what last year was like for you guys. How important is it to get off to a good start, not have any, you know, negative talk around the program, and really kind of for them, you know, just seeing, hey, all this work we've put in is really paying off with not only winning, but winning against really good competition that you guys are going to be playing?
Well, everybody wants to win opening day. Last year we won our opening day game, and frankly, it was a big surprise to me. I about started crying. This year, I think everybody expects us to win our opening day game, but we're playing a really good team, a large school in Scottsboro, and they've improved as well. So anything can happen. Then we roll right into a tournament out at Brewer. They're a big school. We're playing some larger, some 5A, 6A schools there, a couple private schools. So while there's high expectations, we know that we're playing good competition right off the bat. Then Monday, we got Albertville at home. It's a 7A school, so we've got a lot of tough competition, and while we always expect to win, we always want to win, but we're realists, and we know that playing larger schools like that and good volleyball schools, we may not.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about some of those larger schools, but how much can that boost a group's confidence when you are lower classification, you beat a 6A, you beat a 7A program like that? What can that really do for the confidence of a program going forward?
Well, it would be huge for us if we could start off the season with, you know, 3 or 4 wins right off the bat and go into late next week with a winning record. Of course, that would be huge for our program because we are starting out with larger schools on our schedule. You know, like I said, it's just going to be all about passing and defense mostly for us, and not making a lot of unforced errors. And if we can do that, we'll have a really good chance even to beat these larger schools.
You know, you talk about serve receive and all that. I hear that word all the time when I'm talking to volleyball players, volleyball coaches, but
Yes.
It really does start with that. It starts with you being able to serve the ball really well, and then it also starts with you being able to receive the ball really well. What are some things that y'all do during practice, and how much time do y'all put into that part of the game during practice each and every day?
Well, I'll come back to serve receive in a second, but serving is going to be huge for us as well. We've spent a lot of time in the off season and in the summer making sure that our serves are a weapon. We want to try to score off of our serve because we're not very big, and we're not going to be a huge blocking team. So we want to use our serving as a weapon. And then serve receive, if we can get a good first pass, then that just gives our hitters more options. We can move our hitters around. Our setters, of course, can make a better set. And so we probably spend, most of the time this time of year we practice longer than 2 hours, but on average a 2-hour practice, you know, at least half of that is spent on that first pass.
You know, you talked about kind of building this group, this being your 3rd year. A lot of them were sophomores, now they're seniors. Where do you really feel like that this group has grown the most over your 3 years at DAR?
This group has gotten a lot stronger. They've gotten a lot stronger physically, in a lot better shape. They've gotten a lot stronger mentally. You know, they've gone from, not playing as many games to playing as many games as the Alabama High School Athletic Association will allow us to play, plus 6 tournaments, which is a lot during that short volleyball season. So they've gotten a lot stronger and a lot tougher, I think, mentally and physically.
You bring up the mental part, but that part is so important in volleyball because, you don't have very long to get over any kind of mistake that you make and things like that. And so is that something that you stress a lot with your girls of, hey, you have to be strong mentally, you have to be able to get over mistakes because that next play is happening just like that?
It is. That's probably the biggest thing we talk about all the time. And I will say that if this team can move on, next play mentality, have a short-term memory about what just happened, this team can do a lot of really great things.
Momentum is such a big thing in volleyball. You see teams just go on runs all the time, 7, 8, 9 straight points at times. And, as a coach, you only have a certain amount of timeouts during these games. Do you try, how strategic do you have to be with your timeouts and stuff and seeing a team is going on a run and knowing, hey, I might need to use one here, but I might need one, later when it gets closer. How tough is that to kind of do as a coach and be strategic with those timeouts during the game?
Well, we only get 2 each set for 25 points. So one thing I work with my team on is really just to need me as little as possible in that match. To not depend on me, not need me. So early on, there might be times when we might need a timeout and I just won't take one because there'll be times when I won't have a timeout left. And we work really hard on making adjustments that they make. They learn to make adjustments without me telling them. And so that's something that we practice because I do only get 2 timeouts.
You talk about only 9 players in the team, so you're not going to have a big bench, but how important will it be for those 3 that are on the bench at the time to be engaged in the game? And you see all the time these top teams that make it to Birmingham, their bench is so important and cheering and communicating and things. And so how important will it be with not having as many for those to make as much noise as possible and try to impact the game as much as possible while they're on the bench?
That's right. I've tried to teach these girls ever since I've been here that if you're on the team, you're important. That if I didn't want you on the team, then I would have cut you. So if you're on the team, I need you to act like you're important. I need you to talk, and I need you to cheer, and I need you to know what's going on, and I need you to be ready to go in. And so we really instill that from the 7th grade on up, that if you're on the team, then you're important.
What are your biggest keys for this team this season and what they need to do game in, game out to be successful and get where you guys want to go this year?
Well, we've got to serve, and we have to serve a seed. And we have to go be us. We have to go be our team, not try to be some of the teams that we're playing. We're going to Huntsville High to their Ironman tournament. We're going to play a lot of 7A schools that are going to block a lot better than us and hit a lot better than us. And we know that, and I try to prepare them for that. I just want this team to go be who we are, and that is a great passing team, a great defensive team, a great serving team. And then to communicate, have that short-term memory. And we've talked a lot this year about just loving the process, just loving playing volleyball, because it's a grind. Volleyball's a very short season with a lot of games, and if you don't love it, you're going to have a hard time. So we've really worked on that a lot in the off-season.
Coach, really appreciate you taking the time to come up here and join us here on Keeping Up with Marshall County Athletics, and good luck to you and your girls this season.
Thank you so much for having us.
We'll be back with more here on Keeping Up with Marshall County Athletics right after this. Welcome back into Keeping Up with Marshall County Athletics, live at Wintzell's Oyster House. Make sure to come to Wintzell's in Guntersville, eat some great food, enjoy a great atmosphere, and come out and support Wintzell's because they support high school athletics all throughout the state of Alabama. I'm joined by some members of the volleyball team at DAR. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, tell you their name, what position they play, and what grade they're in.
I'm Emily Reeves. I'm an outside hitter, and I'm in 12th grade.
I'm Ansley Barnes. I'm a senior, and I'm a setter / right side.
I'm Tana Osborne. I'm the libero, and I'm in 12th grade.
So, obviously we just got done talking with y'all's coach, and y'all have now been with her for all 3 years that she has been at DAR. And, Kind of talk about her and what it was like early in y'all's volleyball career to kind of get used to her, and then really where that relationship is now 3 years later with y'all being seniors and kind of being so used to having her as your coach.
Oh, it was scary. Yeah, we went from like, not just more chillaxed, and it was just something that has changed. It was a big change. We, a lot more practice time, a lot more games. We had to get into shape and get ready fast.
Everything's just more serious now than it was freshman year.
You talk about everything being more serious and things like that, and you hear them talking about how y'all have to start working harder and stuff. How did y'all mentally kind of have to flip a switch to say, hey, we want to do this and we want to buy into this to try to be as good a volleyball team as possible?
I would say before Broadway came, our mindset was nothing like it is now. We love the game now, we love each other now. Before it was kind of like volleyball was just a thing that we went to. I don't want to say we didn't care, but we just didn't, I don't know. It wasn't as serious. We had to adapt. I mean, everything changed. It was chillaxed. Then we went to practices every single day for 3 hours. Weight room, we didn't go to the weight room before.
Lots of weight room, lots of
weight room. That was new. Jump training, that was new.
Jump training.
So yeah, we just had to adapt, and now it's what we do.
She kind of made some comments about how y'all know going into some games, you're not the tallest team out here. You're not going to be able to beat everybody at the net. And so how do y'all feel like that y'all have to form your game, kind of knowing that and finding other ways to beat people where you can't beat people the way that some 6As and 7A teams are going to try to beat you guys?
We have to serve receive. It's all, like, if we can get a good pass, then we're okay. But if we can't get a good pass, then it's not going to probably be very good. Because then we don't get a good set, then we don't get a good hit, and it won't. And then if we get a good hit, then they can't hit it as hard back at us. So it's easier to get a good pass.
Being seniors now, everybody talks about it all the time. Once you become seniors, you're counted on to be the leaders. You're counted on to be the ones that are always speaking up and the one that kind of coach is counting on. So what's that been like for y'all now, kind of stepping into that role for this team, being those senior leaders and being the ones that a lot of the younger ones, the JV players and stuff, are really looking up to now?
Well, on our team, we have 6 seniors. Yeah, 6 out of the 9 of us are seniors. So it's been, I just feel like it's we all know, we all understand, it's a lot easier to work together. But the JV, they're so sweet. I just love them. Yeah.
You talk about the JV team, and obviously you guys want to leave a good legacy for this program. You want to leave it better than you found it. And so, how much more effort do y'all feel like y'all are putting into helping them and making sure that once they're now in y'all's position as varsity players, once y'all leave, that they're ready for it, can step into this role and kind of keep what y'all have built over the last 3 years going?
Yeah, that's who we play every day. It's them. And they can give it back to us sometimes. And then sometimes they struggle, which they're all really young too. Like I said, there's 6 seniors, and then it's just, most of them are what, freshmen? Freshmen? Yeah. So they're struggling now, but I think with us playing them every day, 3 hours a day, they're getting a lot better. They'll be ready. Come into this.
They're the fastest and the strongest team that we have out of the 7th grade, 8th grade, JV, varsity, but they just lack skill. But with playing us and Broadway coaching them, I think they're gonna be okay.
Yeah, they're the most athletic by far.
Yes.
They're just not volleyball.
Just have to put it all together. They just have to, yes.
For you, kind of starting with you, I want to hear from all 3 of you, but how did you feel about this summer, the work that y'all put in, the games that y'all were able to play against other people, and really what y'all were able to build off from where y'all were at last year to now where you're at this point going into the season?
It's a lot with 3-hour practices and the weight room, but I feel like it's helping us to be a better team and to be stronger this year.
What about for you? How did you kind of feel about this summer and really what y'all built off of from last year now to this point going into the year?
This summer we didn't play as many games, I feel like, but the practices were more intentional and it had a lot of intentionality behind it. And I just feel like we worked on building our connection and playing together a lot better because we spent so much time in the gym together.
Yes. It's been rough because it's been 100 degrees outside, but I feel like we haven't really taken a break. you know, during school last year, we practiced every day, seventh period. You know, we had weight room. Summer hits, we have, I think we could practice how many hours a week? 2?
Yeah.
Just 1? Really? I don't know. I feel like we had a break.
2 hours.
Okay, well, I don't know. I feel like we've gotten closer this summer. We definitely have gotten closer to see each other every day for 3 hours. But, yeah.
Well, you know, you kind of talk about practice being more intentional. You know, everybody kind of paying attention. How much do y'all attribute that to the fact that, you know, y'all said there's 6 seniors on the team. Y'all all have gotten so much older. Y'all have been around each other so much. And so you kind of have more of an understanding of practice is important, and what we do here at practice is going to translate to how we play the games.
Yeah, if we don't practice like how we play, then it's not going to be good, because sometimes we get lazy and we don't cover, or we don't do all the small things, and that's obviously going to lay over in a game. Because if we don't cover, because our blocking, it's just going to hit our little fingertips and fall over. So if we don't cover, then it's going to be bad. So we have to work on the small things like that.
And our practice competition isn't going to be like game competition, so we can't just let those things slide. You have to do the little things.
You know, looking at the beginning of the year now this year, how important do you feel like it is? You know, your coach kind of talked about we got off to a good start last year, won some games early. How important do you feel like it is for this group to get off to another good start, especially beating some of the bigger schools that you guys are about to face here over the next week?
If we get off to a good start, that's just going to build our confidence, and confidence is key. Because if we're not confident, we're not going to swing confident, we're not going to pass confident, we're not going to be confident at all. So if we can get off to a strong start, then we should be more successful, I think.
You know, looking at playing some of these bigger schools, I mean, how important is it to go out there and even if you don't win, you know, go and compete with them, kind of show, you know, hey, just because we're a lower classification doesn't mean that we can't come out here and come play with some of you guys and, you know, be right here in the game with some of y'all.
I love it. I love playing bigger schools. We played Albertville last year in the Marshall County tournament, and we beat them. So, and that felt so good because, you know, they're usually like, oh, they're county schools, and then, you know, we're city schools. We're gonna beat them. No. And who did we play at the beach? That team, that private school? That private school we went to like the day before. We played some private school down at Gulf Shores, and we competed so good. That was probably our best game all season. We were so confident. We were picking up everything. It was a good game. I think we lost that one, but it just felt good. Even though we lost, we played the best that we could. And it was a good time. It was fun. It was fun.
Better competition just makes everything fun.
Yes.
Life more, everything more fun.
You know, Coach talked about y'all going to make a trip again down to the beach. It's going to be a long bus ride for all of y'all. You're going to get to hang out on the bus. You're going to get to be together in a hotel. And how much does that help build that team chemistry? You know, y'all have already been around each other a lot, but you're going to be around each other for, you know, you have to be around each other for that whole entire trip. So how much can that help the bond of the team and doing all that, just being together for as long as you will be on that trip?
Well, last year we rode the handicap bus down there, and the thing for the bus there wobbled the whole time, and I think that really bonded us together because we couldn't sleep, so we were all just up for. And instead of it taking 6 hours to get to Gulf Shores, it took 9. So that really bonded us because we were up for 9 or 10 hours on the bus driving.
And at the beach, we stay in a condo, and it's a one room with like 4 bunk beds. So we all sleep in the same room together, and it was very bonding. We stayed up, and it's really fun. It's really fun.
Yeah.
You know, obviously y'all bringing up some good memories y'all had over the last couple of years, but now it's your senior year, and so do y'all feel like that y'all are going to kind of take more time to soak in a lot of these memories and really try to cherish what this season is going to be?
Absolutely. I'm gonna miss it. I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, I was getting ready for this, and I was like, well, never gonna get interviewed ever again. Never gonna play again one day. Never gonna do all this. And I was just thinking about it literally today. And the season hasn't even started yet, so I know that I'm gonna be thinking about that for the next 3 months.
Really, for all 3 of y'all, I mean, how much are y'all looking forward to kind of getting this season started? You know, getting out there, facing someone different, and having games that count for the year.
Well, I don't really want it to start because it goes so fast. Volleyball season's literally so fast that you literally think it's over.
It's over in like 2 months.
It's it's every day you're doing something, and when you're doing something, time goes by so much faster. Doing something you love, time goes by so much faster, and it's over. So, I mean, getting out there and playing is going to be fun, but it's not going to last forever, and that just really sucks.
What about for you? I mean, how much are you really looking forward to just getting the season started and just seeing another color jersey and not your JV team on the other side?
Yeah, I can't wait to play. Playing other teams is way more fun than practice, and you have to take it more serious, you have to play faster, so I enjoy it way more.
Where do you really feel like, and I'm going to ask all three of y'all this, where do you feel like you've improved the most as a player since Coach Broadway came?
With my jumping, definitely, and my hitting, she's improved all good. In our passing, we do start to see so much every practice.
What about for you?
I think just the way that I think about like the game, like where I should place the ball, who I should place the ball to, who I should set the ball to. Now I just think about it more in depth than I ever did before.
I've definitely gotten better at reading where the hitter's going to go, gotten better moving quickly. Me and Emily are in service seat together most of the time, and I think it was last year she threw us in a two-man service seat, and we were like, oh my gosh, we've never done this before. It's kind of scary, but we've got it down pat, and I'm definitely moving quicker to the ball.
We'll start with you. I mean, I want to hear from all three of y'all about, the communication part. When you're 10th graders, you got started with her, everybody's younger, and y'all figuring things out. How much has that part of the game really improved for everybody out there, especially just getting older and being more comfortable with everyone?
You definitely can't play volleyball without communication. It is key. I mean, I think our communication has improved a lot over the years. It's just important. You can't play without it.
It's more like when we were younger, we would I feel like we understand each other more. Like, I know Emily's going to get that ball, or I know Tana's going to get the ball. I don't have to get it. But, just knowing that and feeling more confident with each other and having more trust in each other is a lot of the part of the communication.
Our confidence with each other, because I know that they're going to go get the ball, and when we were younger, we didn't really think like that. The ball would just drop, but now we know that they're going to go get it, or I'm going to go get it, so.
Going into now this being y'all senior year and everything, just what do y'all feel like are the biggest keys for this team to go out there, have the type of success that you guys want, and obviously at the end get to where you guys want to get to, which is being in Birmingham, competing for a state championship?
The biggest key is going to be serving, because if we give them a tougher serve, it's going to be harder for them to set up an offense to play against us. Like we said, we're small. We're not going to be able to block like bigger schools. So if we can have a tough serve against them, it's going to be tougher for them to set up an offense and tougher for them to play it back at us. So I think serving is definitely important and probably the key to success for our season.
Another thing, not so much skill, but just bonding with the team. Coach Broadway's been stressing to choose to love each other. I really think that having a good relationship with your teammates on the court is really important, and just having fun. When you step on the court, you need to have a good relationship with everybody and keep everything that is negative off the court. I think that's a big thing for us.
Awesome. Well, hey, listen, really appreciate y'all taking the time to come out here and join us on Keeping Up with Marshall County Athletics. And good luck. Y'all kick the season off this week, and really look forward to seeing how this year goes for y'all this year.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more here on Keeping Up with Marshall County Athletics right after this.
All right, welcome back into Keeping Up with Marshall County Athletics. We're here with the DAR football team. And I'm going to let these young men introduce themselves at this time.
I'm Steve Davis, and I play quarterback.
My name is Ben Hastings. I'm a sophomore, and I play defensive end.
My name is Adam Nathan. I'm a senior, and I play defensive back.
My name is Mahon. I'm a senior, I'm a linebacker.
We're going to start off real quick. Pass it back to this young man real quick. Playing quarterback for Kyle Davis is not like playing quarterback for most teams. A lot of pressure on you, my friend, but on you, a little bit more than others. Maybe you can explain to the crowd why.
So, Colin Davis will be my dad. And it's, I mean, it's fun sometimes, you know, if you're, he'll jump on me real good, but I mean, I just move on to the next play and just get a rock.
There we go. All right, you other guys right here, what is your first initial thoughts of Kyle Davis? He's well-respected coach. We love him. We've had him on our show several times, and he was super happy to get to work with you guys. What are your initial thoughts of Coach Davis?
I think when he first got here, we were all, you know, I mean, when you get a new coach, you're always not sure about how we're gonna react to his new environment and how he's gonna react to some of the things that we do. So I think when he came in, he kind of had the mindset that he was going to bring some of his things and he was going to keep some of our things. And I think we've really found a good middle with that, where like everybody is really where we want to be. So I think he's really doing good.
You pass it down to the next one.
I think he's made the team come together really, really well. I mean, all the practices and everything are going super smoothly now. Some days we don't really have good days. Some days we have better days. And I can say that we have some progress going on. And he's a good coach.
All right, so when he first came here to the AR, it was my first reaction was like, that guy, he's gonna give us some wins. He's a man of deal. A small little thing that I noticed, right, it was the weights. He made us flip our weights inside out, which was a huge difference, right? It's just the small little details that changes a lot. So I knew when he did that little change, he's a man of deal.
Let me ask you a question. We'll start right here and pass it back to these guys. How tough has this summer been for you guys, and how much different?
It's been pretty tough. Obviously, we had summer workouts, you know, new to the system, how he does it, and how us seniors, I guess, how we used to do it. But besides that, I mean, I'm liking it so far. So, yeah.
Okay, you pass it back.
Yeah, like Marlon said, the workouts, over the summer they were pretty tough and everything. But Denver, from the next weeks we've had and whatnot, it's gotten better. You know, practices, they're good, they're great. Thankfully now.
I think Coach Davis did a really good job with the workouts when he first came in, because one of his initial points of contact was kind of hiring other guys. And so we got some more guys in there and that knew a lot about what they were talking about, and I feel like that really got us to where we need to be on the working out standpoint. And Coach Davis is really helping us with the actual on the field type stuff. So yeah, I think he's really doing a good job.
I mean, the workouts, they're tough, but I mean, we come in, we get our stuff done, and you know, I don't know what they were used to in the past, but I mean, this is my first year of varsity, so I just do what I'm supposed to, I guess.
Keep it right there with you, then we're gonna pass it back now. This week you guys play Sardis, another team with a new coach, a new attitude, new mindset. What have you guys seen from Sardis on film?
Well, from film, we've seen a lot of cover 3, and if they do roll safety back, they'll be running cover 2. So, I mean, what we run should work if we execute.
I talked to Coach Davis this morning about some of the film with Sardis, and he was talking about how their defense is going to be the same and their offense is going to be different. So it's kind of going to be hard to judge on when you're on defense exactly what's going on. But I think if we just go out there and execute, we can really do some good.
Yeah, I agree with Dane. If we just go out there and execute, they're a good team. You know, I think we'll show out this year.
Yeah, not much to say here, besides when I was watching film on them. They got a solid defense. They kind of have a clue what's going on there. But hopefully, here Mr. Gates can lead us on, get us a few touchdowns, and get us a win.
Hey, keep it right there with you. Got another question coming back, and we'll let you guys chill out and talk to Coach Davis. Give me some goals, personal goals, not necessarily team goals. What are you going to do individually to help this team this fall?
Well, I'm going to try not to get personal fouls. That's
a good answer.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, try to motivate these guys, even when we're down, like, who knows how many points, but I signed up to play, motivate the guys, and show leadership. So, one of my goals, I guess, you can say, show leadership and win.
Love it.
Yeah. My goal is to be a leader and just all the youngins and just show them how to be a football player. And really just, for me, I want to work on my grit. I want to get better about being in tough situations and knowing how to make the outcome better of it. And yeah.
I think, especially as a lineman, that we need to like, if we execute our job, that means somebody else is getting the fame for it. So I think if we just execute and they do their job, that means everybody's executing. Then we will have good turnout this season. So I think my goal is just to execute my job and let the other guys do what they're supposed to.
And before you answer, you got a lot of pressure on you, know that. With this answer. Just
I
joking.
mean, my goal is just to, being a young quarterback, I'm just trying to, I know I'm young, but still be a leader and still stay, composed. I know I'm going to take some hits, and I know it's going to be rough, but, I gotta know my reads and everything, my coverages, and I think we'll be okay.
Well, I can tell you right now, you may be young, but you interview well. And I know some guys are scared to death, been in your road, it's 4 or 5 classes ahead of me. Do a good job, my man. All right, guys, looking forward to seeing you guys this season. We're going to get your dad and the head coach in here in just a second. Thank you, guys. Welcome back into Keeping Up with Marshall County Athletics. We're here with new head coach of DAR, Kyle Davis. And Kyle Davis is no stranger to Average Joe's. He's been one of our favorite coaches over the last few years, and always love when he comes on, and great to have you back in this area, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Bo. Appreciate it, man. It's an honor. It is to be at DAR. Coaching these kids has been a real joy of mine over these last, getting to know them since March 1st when I took over. They're eager. They've done the things we asked them to do, and I told a lot of people, when you get in the seat right here, you never know when your last stop is, right? You never know when you get another opportunity. So every time you get a chance to run a program, I think you cherish it a little bit more and really say, hey, I'm going to do it even better this time than I did last time.
Coach, when you took this job up here, you knew it was going to be a big challenge, but also a tremendous opportunity for you. I know your mindset and where you came from Alexandria. You guys don't shy away from any kind of challenge. So did that play into taking this job?
Oh, absolutely. I tell a lot of people, I don't think you ever really know what you get into when you take a job, right? I mean, you look at surroundings, you see what's going on, and you can maybe kind of gauge a little bit where they're at, but you don't really know the ins and outs. And, a lot of people are like, what are you thinking? What are you doing? It's not, but I'll be real honest with you. The very first day that I came and I interviewed and I sat with that group of guys that interviewed with us, Mr. Boland, Mr. Edwards, and some of the other guys there, and then we got to go to the second interview and talk to Colonel Nair, who was our board member. I knew right then that, they were committed to making football, a relevant thing at DAR, and they wanted to do things the right way. And I knew right then that I felt like that, the credentials that I had and maybe some of the gifts that I have, which is a builder. I believe in, I'm a builder. I just felt like it was a good fit for me and my family to come in and be able to kind of get things going in the right direction.
Coach, no doubt, I remember the days when you were at West End, we first met you. When you say family, you mean family.
Oh, absolutely.
You got a family. How many total in the family?
8. We got 8. Me and Sid got 8 kids.
8 kids. But then when you get to look down and you see your coach playing quarterback for you, that's got to be a little bit different. It means a little bit different. I know you love all your guys, but that one, that's blood.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where obviously I think I'm probably a little bit hard on him all the time, but I'm no harder on him there than I am anywhere else. I have expectations, but I have expectations of all my guys out there. We want to do things the right way. We want to be committed to what we're doing. But yeah, and it's a special time for our family right now too, because those things do get to happen. They do get to go on. I just hope I do a good job of being, coach on the field and then still be dad at home, because nobody wants to be road all the time. And, you know, there's a time to get away from football, and that's at the house. And we, you know, so I hope I can do a good job of balancing those two.
Coach, when you look back at your high school years and the guys you went to school with Jonathan Miller and the Gins and all these different guys across the landscape of Alabama, all these Alexandria guys that come from Larry Ginn, what does it mean to you to be a part of that fraternity, of that special time and place in Alexandria, Alabama, that's produced so many coaches that we know of now? You know, Ryan Chambliss, and the list goes on and on.
Oh, man, and those guys are like brothers to me. You know, I mean, Jonathan's 2 years older than me, Todd's a year older than I am. Me and Ryan graduated together. You know, I really believe that, you know, you could have took Coach Ginn and he'd have been the best basketball coach out there and he'd be the best football coach out there. It's just something that he instilled in us of we knew that when we stepped on that field or we stepped on that court that we were going to win. And just kind of the way it was. And I think that's the mindset that we've carried into our coaching careers. Has it always happened that way? No. You know, Jonathan's had great success. Ryan's had great success. Todd's having great success. You know, and there's been times, you know, we had what we had. But I think the biggest thing that we, you know, when you talk about those guys from that era that we took from was, you know, kind of what my mantra with these guys right here, man, show up when you feel like it, show up when you don't. I don't know if I ever saw a day Coach Ginn was not there, you know, and so you just, that was kind of the deal where you knew he was going to be there, you knew you were going to be there, and that's just kind of developed into us as grown men, and I think that's the way we've kind of done ourselves.
Well, Coach, whether we like it or not, the Bullets are about to be flying for real this week, and you're facing a bit of an unknown, especially offensively, team coming up in Sardis, and B.J. Brooks, with his history being from Etowah County, then, you know, venturing out, ending up at Hoover, then back to Etowah County. What have you seen from those guys on film?
We know BJ's a phenomenal coach. He's got a great, you know, he comes from a great coaching tree, right? He's been to Etowah, he's been to Gadsden City, he's been at Hoover, so, you know, he's going to have some really good offensive mentality, I'm sure. I know he kept the same defensive coordinator. That's kind of what the kids are referring to. We do have some film to where, you know, we feel like they're going to be very similar defensively, but offensively, I mean, it's, you know, it's going to be a Russian roulette kind of deal. We don't know what they're going to, probably some sort of spread. I mean, that's kind of BJ's background, but I mean, we don't exactly know how they're going to attack us and what they're going to do. Our biggest thing is we got to prepare ourselves, right? We got to make DR Patriots the best DR Patriots they can be that night. You know, offensively, I mean, you've been around me, you know that's what I do. I think we've got a good plan. Now, whether we execute or not, I don't know. But it's just going to come down to, you know, depth. We don't have a lot of depth. But if we can jump out there, you know, get some scores, maybe try to hold on going in the fourth quarter. If we keep it close, we'll give ourselves a chance.
Coach, going into this week, what is the utmost importance? What sticks out above all else? The message you're going to relay to you guys, we have to get this done heading into the Sardis game.
Mentality. I mean, really, man. Yeah, you know, yesterday was terrible, and when I talked to them about it, it was hot. They felt sorry for themselves, man. They were going, you know, I mean, it just wasn't a great day. And what we tried to instill with them was, like I said, that mentality of it's hot for everybody. We're all going out here. It's going to be tough on Friday night, man. We're going to get in a situation where maybe we don't get up. Maybe we're down 20, right? We got to come. So we just got to get that mentality of, you know, like I said, 3 phases of what we are. Show up when you feel like it, show up when you don't. Comfortable with the uncomfortable. We're going to develop grit through getting 1% better every day. That's what we want to build ourselves on. And that's the mentality we have to develop. Doesn't matter what kind of football we play. If we don't ever get to that point and become, you know, mentally tough players, then our skill level is never going to develop like it needs to. So going in, you know, Friday, we have to have the mindset of up 20, down 20. This is how we're going to play. This is the mentality we're going to use. And I hope we see it. You know, week 1's tough, but I do believe that if you come to game in week 0 against Sardis and you come to game in week 9 against North Jackson, that you're going to see a team that's really grown over the year.
Coach, one more thing before I let you out of here. You look back on this season coming up. I know wins and losses ain't what everything's measured on. What are you going to measure this season on? What are the keys that you're looking for this team to say, hey, that's what I asked for, that's what we executed?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously everybody wants to win, right? But we do know, you know, we're starting 2 8th graders, starting 3 9th graders. These seniors right here, man, I told them, this is what I told them. And I think every one of them can tell you this was the conversation I had. I told them that we're going to work to win. I can't guarantee a win. I can't guarantee any wins, but I can guarantee this. You know, 3 years from now, when we're out there stretching for week 0 and these guys walk on the field and there's a Marlon or there's an Adam or a Dalton or a Seth or a Trevor, I'm gonna look at these guys and say, guys, this right here, this is Marlon Diaz, you know, this is Adam Newton. We've built this program on these guys. And you know, I think as a 17-year-old, it's a tough thing to hear, but as a 24-year-old man, you can really appreciate, you know, what that means, you know, that you are the foundation of what we are. And so, you know, if we can look back at this season 3 years from now and we become a very relevant program in 4A and in our region, I think that's going to be a huge success for us.
Coach, I appreciate you guys coming out as well as the volleyball young ladies. They were excellent. You guys were excellent. Good luck to both of you guys this whole entire season and looking forward to covering you guys. VAR.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, Bo, as always, man. Y'all do a great job.
Good luck, Coach. See you soon.
Yes, sir.
That's all we have this week, and we will be back next week with another episode of Keeping Up with Marshall County Athletics.